What's up, my video bros? Maine-iac here with a special video. One I was going to do before the All-Star break, but I decided to hold up until the season continued. Now, we only have a few more weeks, or like about a month or so, left in the regular season. I believe, if you want to be exact, we only have about 24 games left, somewhere around there. Now, a lot of interesting things have happened since last time we did this video. We ended the series early in the season just to see how dramatically it changed necessarily. And a lot of interesting things have happened. Some teams have fallen off, some teams have shot up, and it's been incredible. We start off with the current state of the West. As you can see, Golden State has reclaimed the 1 seed, followed by Denver and OKC in the actual standings. Denver is 2 games behind Golden State, and OKC is 2 games behind Denver. And then then it's where it gets a lot more crowded between the 4th seed Portland Trailblazers and the 8th seed Clippers. It's only separated by 3 games, with Utah and San Antonio being tied currently, with Utah owning the tiebreaker by a better winning percentage. Very, very interesting scenario. My honest thoughts about the West currently are Kings and Lakers being behind the Clippers might not necessarily last too long. Now, one thing I mean by that is due to the recent trades of Tobias Harris and stuff like that, I'm not sure if the Clippers can hold on. So, right now, for me, the Kings are the favorites to grab that last seed right there. Other interesting notes are New Orleans, Dallas, Minnesota, teams that I personally, well, Dallas, I should say Lakers, Minnesota, New Orleans, teams like that I pegged to be in the bottom of the West or towards it, like in the playoffs, not in it. And if you're in the New Orleans case, you're 6 games out of the West playoffs currently. Not good. Phoenix, by far the worst team in the West, 12 games behind the next worst team. It is absolutely astonishing. One of the most positive surprises of the Western Conference playoffs, honestly, is Utah coming back and holding the 6th seed currently, which is pretty good for them considering how they started. I believe when this series ended, they were pretty far out of the playoff picture considering how early it was in the season. And then you have the East, Bucks at the 1 seed, Toronto at the 2. Predictable. These two teams have consistently been the best teams in the East this season, both playing really well behind MVP caliber players in Giannis Antetokounmpo and Kai Leonard. I don't know why I can't say his first name right now. I usually never struggle. The interesting surprise to me is the fact that the Pacers somehow still hold on to the 3 seed despite the injury to Oladipo. Um, this last stretch, though, is going to be a determining factor, mainly because they're only 1 game ahead of being the 5th seed. So I literally see them being the 5th seed at least. They're currently 8.5 games ahead of the 6th seed, so I think they can at least claim a top 5 seed. So there's going to be a little bit of shuffling between 3, 4, and 5, in my opinion, with Boston, Philly, and Indy. Personally, I think Philly ends up with a 3 seed, Boston with the 4, and Pacers with the 5, or at least that's how it looks like to me currently. And then you have Brooklyn, Charlotte, and Pistons rounding it out, or Brooklyn, Charlotte, and Detroit. Detroit, very interesting team, 4 game below 500, tied with Miami Heat, but I believe they own the tiebreaker, and that's why they're currently slated in the 8th seed. Charlotte, 3 games below 500, another team that probably shouldn't be there, but behind the play of Kemba Walker are there somehow. Most disappointing team, I would say, currently in the East would no doubt have to be the Washington Wizards. Now, I say that because, not just because of the John Wall injury, but with Bradley Beal there and how well Bradley Beal has been playing. The fact that they didn't make a move at the trade deadline is a huge concern for me. And the biggest surprise, I would say, is definitely the Brooklyn Nets. Currently 30 and 29. If you look at their last 10, they are 6 and 4. Their point differential is plus 3.7, which is not bad. Granted, there's only 5 teams in the East that have a positive point differential, led by the Bucks at 9.8, the Celtics at 6.4, and the Raptors at 5.6. But still, good. It's good for them that. Oh wait, no, never mind. If I look at the Nets, they have a negative zero point 0.4 score differential. I'm sorry, the graph I'm using was off a bar at the end. I do apologize. I will correct that. But if you look at the West, point differential wise, I know it's not a big deal, but there's only 4 negative teams in the West, and one at 500, which is odd because that usually never happens. 4 negative teams in the West, and that includes New Orleans, who has a zero point 0.8 positive point differential, yet they're 7 games under 500. That is incredible. And what makes the Celtics more of an interesting thing with 6.4 point differential being second in the East is that's better than any team in the West besides Golden State. So it's going to be an interesting playoffs. Now, what do I think of these individual matchups? I think Golden State versus LA in the current state of the Clippers, it would be a 4-game sweep, probably one of the easiest sweeps Golden State has ever had. Portland Trailblazers versus the Houston Rockets. I like the Portland Trailblazers in this one. One, because I don't think there's enough depth behind Chris or James Harden, but that's if the Rockets have health issues. If everyone is healthy. Now, I should do it like this, just to be fair. If everyone's healthy, the Rockets win this series in 6 games. At least 6 games. Maybe less. Kenneth Faried, Clint Capella will form a formidable duo on the boards. I don't think the Portland Trailblazers have the talent to compete. Chris Paul and James Harden are one of the best guard combos in the league. I think the issue is health. The Rockets are never completely healthy. And come playoff time, if history repeats itself, someone's going to get hurt. And if someone important gets hurt, whether it be James Harden, Clint Capella, or Chris Paul, the Trailblazers probably take the series. I'm still picking the Rockets in 6 if that was the situation, if they were healthy. And if they were guaranteed healthy. Then you have the Oklahoma City Thunder at the Jazz. Currently, I would pick the Oklahoma City Thunder, mainly because Paul George is playing at an MVP level. Donovan Mitchell still has time to bounce back. Joe Ingles would be an interesting player in this matchup, mainly because his defense on Paul George would be so crucial. Steven Adams and Gobert, that combination in a best of 7 series would be amazing to watch. I would actually pick OKC, but I think it would take them 6 to 7 games. I know I say that a lot, but I'm respecting Utah here. Utah's very capable. Rubio, Mitchell, I think. I think they got what it takes. And you got Denver, San Antonio. As good as the Spurs have been, they have been terrible on the road. So I'm picking the Nuggets here in 5. With all respect to the Spurs, I don't think they have enough talent at the center position to really limit what the Nuggets do best, and that is with Jokic. I mean, the best bet you probably have if you're the Spurs is to shadow him with LaMarcus Aldridge, someone bigger, someone experienced, maybe force a few mistakes, but I still think the Nuggets are too good of a team. And then in the East, you have the Bucks at the Pistons. I think this would be a 4-game sweep. I don't think the Pistons have what it takes to stop Giannis. Even if they put Blake Griffin on him or Drummond on him in the paint, I don't think they have enough, especially with Mirotic and Lopez also there. Definitely a dangerous team. And you have the Celtics at the, or Sixers at the Celtics. 76ers have been awful against the Celtics the last couple of years. But this series could be very good. I think this would be a 7-game series. No matter who wins this, it's probably going to come down to health and depth. And that I favor the Celtics. I do like the lineup of Butler, Redick, Simmons, Embiid, Tobias Harris. I think it is incredibly dangerous. But the depth of the 76ers has taken a slight hit So I think the Celtics would be favored in a 7-game series. I also give the coaching advantage slightly to the Celtics, but to me, this is like a 52-48% thing right here. It's close to 50-50 as you can possibly get in this series. And then you got Indiana versus Brooklyn. As you can see, I'm controlling Brooklyn, but I ain't gonna be playing any games. In this matchup, I'm gonna go with the upset here, and I'm gonna take Brooklyn in 6. I think Brooklyn can very well handle themselves. The play of D'Angelo Russell has been superb this year. LeVert getting back healthy. Allen providing a solid boost at center. I think they have what it takes to win a first round. If it's the Pacers, if they stay the 6th seed and they draw someone like the Boston Celtics or the 76ers, it's gonna be awful. And you have the Raptors at the Hornets. This should be a 4-game sweep or a gentleman sweep. Kemba Walker is very capable. Health also an issue with the Raptors when it comes to like Kawhi and stars, but that's true to every team. Now let's see what NBA 2K says and simulate the current round. We're gonna always have CPU adjust rotation, and as you can see, I already lost a player. And as you can see here, we did have a sweep with Golden State versus LA, but I think NBA 2K's got something wrong with them. Now, analyzing what happened, Golden State Clippers sweep, I said it was a sweep. Rockets help Portland, I could see that happening if Houston struggled with injuries. OKC versus Jazz, 6 games, predictable. San Antonio, Denver in 5, but San Antonio winning? That's not why I did think 2K is crazy. Then we start at the bottom of the East. Toronto versus Charlotte in 5, I just said. Gentleman sweep could very well happen. Brooklyn Pacers, I said that could happen. I said that would happen as well. A sweep of the 76ers, I don't see that happening. But the biggest flubber I've ever seen 2K make is them having the Pistons sweep the Bucks. I have to view the box score or something. No, they have Giannis actually playing. Holy shit, this is odd. If I'm looking game 4, they lost by 7, and for some reason 2K had Bledsoe going 0 for 6 from 3. And they had Mirotic going 1 for 5 inside the paint. What the hell is up with that? That is absolutely insane. Although I guess the 3-point shooting costs them. That's awful. Pistons upsetting. I guess if this happened, well, first off, after I cleaned out the shit in my pants, I'd have to go Golden State over Portland in 5 games, OKC over San Antonio in 7 games. I'd go Boston over Detroit in a sweep, because Detroit has no business sweeping a Milwaukee Bucks. Even if the Pistons beat the Bucks, it would take them at least 6 games. Yeah, Toronto, Brooklyn, I think Toronto would win in 6 games. And hopefully NBA 2K doesn't give me a heart attack in this round. Okay, the Nets have been eliminated. Okay, I can respect that. Okay, 5 games for the Golden State Warriors. I can see that. OKC versus San Antonio. I don't know what NBA 2K has for San Antonio. It's like they got a boner for them. And Celtics against Pistons in 6. I can see that happening. Drummond and Blake Griffin are good rebounders, and they're really good talent. You got Toronto sweeping the Nets, which I can totally see. Then you have the Raptors, Celtics, Spurs, Warriors. I think most likely matchup here, obviously, like it has been most of the time, is the Raptors at the Warriors. Least likely, probably Boston at San Antonio. But like I said, Golden State probably in 5, Boston probably losing in 6. No, Boston won in 5. That's interesting. The fact that the NBA 2, I know it's simulated, so it's only one simulation, so it's different every time. But this is the first time I think 2K in this series has actually sent the Celtics to the finals. Very interesting. They only lost a total of 3 games. Warriors lost a total of 2 games. In this matchup, I'd say Warriors in 6. mainly because they have the more top tier talent, like the 76ers. Um, but the difference between 76ers and Golden State is 76ers, as good as that starting lineup is, it's like the B team, and Golden State's like the A team. So as you can see there, it was a 4-game sweep of the Boston Celtics with Curry averaging 32.3 points. Holy shit, that's insane. And he averaged 0.3 blocks per game, which means he got, I think that means he got 1. Damn, yeah, that's pretty good. 4-game sweep ends with the Warriors winning. One day, when we do the simulation, the Warriors will lose. One day. But not today. Anyway, you guys have a good day. See you in the next one. Peace.